G'day and welcome to my review of the SOG Field Pup. I only just got this knife a few days ago. I've been looking to buy one for quite some time, and finally a retailer, online retailer here, had them going at a really good price. So I pulled the trigger on it and got one, and really happy that I got it. I'm quite excited about this knife actually for a number of reasons we'll talk about, and I thought just for something different today we might look at the sheath first before we get into the knife. The sheath on this is excellent. This particular one, as you can see, came with a nylon sheath. They do also come with a leather sheath, which is very much on the lines of a bushcraft knife type of a sheath with just a loop and the knife just held in. If you are ordering a Field Pup, you should check the model number at the end of the model number, which is FP, I think it is something, Field Pup 3, I think it is FP3. The nylon sheath will have an N on the end. So just check on that if you do want the nylon sheath, and I'd recommend you try and get this sheath. Starting at the front, very well constructed sheath. It's got the little pouch on the front. Some people like them, some don't. I don't tend to use them terribly much myself. This pouch, however, it's Velcro closure. I've got an old full-size SOG multi-tool here. It will fit that. Hangs out just a little bit there, but as you can see, that fits in. A little bit tight and certainly adds some weight. We'll talk about weight again in a moment. What else could you put in here? You could put in a fire steel. This is a Start My Fire fire steel, full-size army model, so it's the largest one they do. And I won't try and get the lanyard in there, but for the sake of that, you can see that that fits in there quite neatly as well. So if you wanted to go off that option, sharpening stones, sharpening whatever, you could put whatever you want in there. Or again, as I say, you could not put anything in. For me personally, I'd actually would have liked it without that pouch. It would have been a very nice slim pouch without that. Okay, retention. Up here we've got a clasp which is a combination of Velcro and a clip, which I think is really great. You get the best of both worlds there. That just seals down nicely, and knife comes out. It's stitched here, so it's not rotatable. So it's one way, but that's no problem. Put the knife back in. We don't want to get to the knife yet. Keep in suspense. Okay, you can see riveted on all the corners. Bottom down there, nice stitching, and it's riveted up the top. On the back, it's MOLLE compatible, and it feels very stiff too. I think this, not that I'm into MOLLE vests and stuff, but if you were and you wanted to put it on a load-bearing vest, I think you'd find that it'll work very well. If, like me, you're a belt carry type person, you could put your belt through the top section of the MOLLE, or there's a loop built in there. I've carried it both ways on a belt, just in testing, and both work very nicely. It sits very nice and tight, comfortable, and doesn't gravitate around on your belt at all. So excellent job on that sheath, really first class. So finally we'll get on to the knife itself. Most people are probably familiar with the Field Pup. It's been around for quite some time. I'll just give you some specs on it. I suppose it's probably the best place to start. It's basically, I consider it to be a drop point blade. It does drop away here, and it has got a recurve edge. The SOG website claims this is a straight edge, but it's certainly not, and I think you can see that quite clearly there's a recurve on that. That might be an issue for some people for sharpening, particularly if you like using the old sharpening stones. I use a Spyderco triangle sharp maker, so that won't be any sort of problem for me to sharpen that. The steel on this one, I actually thought they were an OS8, and I'm fairly certain at one stage they were. This one may be, and if they have in fact changed the steel. The SOG website now lists these as a 7CR17 MOV, which was a steel I hadn't heard of. It a little bit of research on the net, about 10 seconds worth, indicates that it's basically Chinese equivalent to 440C. So that's probably no bad thing. Look at the blade on the side here if we get some focus. Just the SOG logo there with the Field Pup name on it. Not much on the other side except the word Taiwan, which obviously is where it's manufactured. The blade is a hollow ground. It came ridiculously sharp out of the box. Very, very sharp indeed. As you can see, it's got a thumb ramp with some jimping. The jimping on this knife is a little bit different to certainly on the Spydercos, and you can see there it's very triangular and it's very sharp. It works exceedingly well. In fact, you can actually almost feel it digging into your thumb. So that probably brings us on to the next part, is the ergonomics. This knife overall are, in my view, excellent. The handle's very, very comfortable. The handle, incidentally, is made of Kraton. It feels like it's got a very slight little bit of give in it, almost like a stickiness feel to it. It's got textured sides, as you can see there, and the SOG logo is embossed in there. Nice little finger choils there, or finger grooves, whatever you'd like to call them. And you've got a lanyard hole at the end. It is a full tang knife. You may be able to see if I cast a little bit of light on the subject. Just inside there you can see a glimpse of metal. So the metal is in fact all the way back, full tang, although it's not exposed at the rear of the knife. The knife really just feels exceedingly good in the hand. Very light. It's just perfect, to be honest. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited about this knife. I'm not into the bushcrafting side of things, but this is probably the closest I've got to a bushcraft knife, I guess. It's not Scandi grind, obviously, but it's given me a bit of an insight, I suppose, into why those guys like the style of knife they do. This is just a great, comfortable, small, fixed blade knife. The overall length on this knife, back to statistics again, is 8.5 inches or 216 mil. I don't know if I gave the blade size yet, so I'd better do that. It's a 4-inch blade, which is 102 millimeters, and the thickness of the blade is 0.13 of an inch or 3.3 millimeters. So it's not the thickest blade on earth, but certainly strong enough. And of course, the whole way grinding, you come down to a very, very fine, nice edge. You can demonstrate the edge. As soon as I basically suck at cutting paper, every time I try and do it on here, I make a pig's breakfast of it. I was doing a bit of gardening before and chopped down some of these things. These are called golden cane. It's just a little stem, and I thought it'd be interesting. Just wind the zoom back as much as we can, and you'll be able to see here. I'm trying to cut on this section of the blade, right on the belly. This is where I found the sweet spot. Really cut myself on it there. As I say, it is very, very sharp. Now this is really not the sort of task that this knife's designed for. For this type of thing, you really want a larger knife or a machete, but as you can see there, and I'm not putting a heck of a lot of force into this. Even getting down here to the thicker end, it's going through there very comfortably. I'll just clear all that out of the way. A bit of a mess here. Okay, so a little bit wet. I'll just tidy that up. That just gives you an idea. If you're out in the bush or out in the forest with this little knife, it's going to probably punch above its weight a little bit for you. And I guess what it's ideally designed for, and the name is a giveaway, the Field Pup. It's predominantly, I think, for hunters, for field dressing game and that type of thing. I'm not into that much myself, but certainly if you're in a survival situation, you could use it for that. I think it'd be an excellent camp knife. Also be very good just for general purpose to throw in your pack if you're hiking or whatever. Again, just as a contingency fixed blade. I'm a great believer that you should not rely on just a folding knife, which you've got in your pocket when you're out hiking. Even on just a day hike, you should have a fixed blade backup in case you perhaps do get stuck out overnight or something like that. The weight of the knife, very nice and light, and again a great thing for it if you're going to just cart it around in that way. 3.8 ounces, 108 grams. The knife with the sheath comes in at 7.2 ounces or 202 grams. Now, out of interest, when I mentioned before that you could fit a full-size multi-tool, one of the reasons I don't like doing that is it does make them heavy, and I thought it'd be interesting to quickly weigh that up, and it turned out that with the multi-tool in there, full-size one, brought the whole weight of the unit sheath knife multi-tool up to 15.2 ounces or 431 grams. So, in fact, more than double the weight of just the knife and sheath on its own as soon as you throw a full-size multi-tool in there. Fine if you're comfortable with carrying that weight, but not something that I'd probably want to do. What else have we found about this knife? The spine has got a very nice 90-degree edge on it, which makes it excellent for use of a fire steel. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll this mat back out of the way, because if I use the fire steel here, I'll melt it. It's one of those non-slip type mat materials, and then we'll do a quick bit of a show of how good it does with the fire steel. Back in a moment. Okay, we're back with my rather grubby workbench in sight. So again, we've got the Light My Fire Army Fire Steel out. We're going to give this a bit of a go. And what we're going to be doing is using this part of the spine of the blade here on our fire steel. Just see what sort of effect we get with it. Now, I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera, but it's sparking away really nicely. Now, just to give you a comparison, I've got another SOG product here just to roll in. And this is the Field Pup Elite, and it's got that, what would you call it, jimped edge, I guess, on the spine. That I don't find it's not bad, but it's not quite as great. The place I found is best to use that is this little thumb ramp area here, and it's pretty good. But I'd have to say that I think the Field Pup is probably slightly better, and it's certainly you're not constricted so much on where you can use it. So for a survival purpose or for your fire starting, the Field Pup will certainly work. We might just, I'll get the blade a bit of a clean up because we can't possibly finish the video like that, and we'll come back and finish off back in a moment. Okay, so we're back after our little bit of work at the fire starter, and as you can see, quick wipe over for rag, and that's all I used was just a soft rag, cleaned up perfectly, like it had never been used for that, so it's one of the beauties of the stainless steel, I guess. So overall, this knife, I think it's really excellent. I'm very, very happy with it, particularly so because I think the sheath is really first class, an excellent job on the sheath. So for me, as a combination, as a knife system, this really works. It's great to use, it's comfortable, it does the job well. It's actually quite a joy to use this knife and the limited use I've done with it. I'm really looking forward to getting out and using it a lot more. If you've been thinking of buying one of these, my view is at the price that they're available for, they're excellent value, and if it suits your uses, I think you'd be extremely happy with one of these in your collection. So that's my review of the SOG Field Pup. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, look forward to reading your comments down below, and maybe you've got one of these knives. What are your thoughts on it? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks very much. Bye for now.